Okay, good morning. Welcome to
KidMath number 7.
KidMath number 7. So we spent the morning today on a really cool problem from Art of Problem Solving's Algebra book. And I've modified it a little bit just so we're not doing exactly the same problem, but it's pretty neat. And it's a challenge problem from quadratic equations. And the question is pi squared minus 5pi plus 6 positive, negative, or 0? Now let me ask you a question. What would be the easiest and cheating way to do this problem?
Well, actually do what pi is.
And how would we do that? Probably on a calculator or something.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're going to figure it out without using a calculator. Okay?
Okay.
So how do you want to start?
Well, this kind of looks like an unfactored quadratic equation.
Okay, it does kind of look like an unfactored quadratic.
So maybe we can get it into its factored form.
Okay. But that's not a great way to start this
Yeah,
problem.
maybe we can do a little bit of rounding before we start.
Okay.
So pi is about 3.
Pi is about 3.
So that means 3 squared, 9. This is 9 minus 15 plus 6, and that equals 0.
Okay. So the first thing, a good thing to just check is like, what is this equal about? And unfortunately, it's about equal to 0.
So we don't know if it's positive.
Right.
We rounded.
We rounded and we got exactly 0. So we don't know if the exact answer is a little bit on this side of 0, a little bit on this side of 0. Maybe it's also exactly right on top of 0.
We don't know.
We don't know. It would have been nice to round and get an answer that was like way over here, like 100 or something.
Yeah.
And then we would have said, oh, okay, well, if when we evaluate this at 3, we get 100, it's probably positive when it's pi. But unfortunately, that's why this is kind of a cool problem. All right, so what are you going to do now? Now that we know it's about 0, we've got to
factor
work.
our quadratic unfactored equation.
All right, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we can get this into a form that says pi times something, or pi plus or minus something, times pi plus or minus another something.
Okay, all right. So this, what you're saying, and let me translate here, is this looks like an equation that's x squared minus 5x plus 6. And we like these equations.
Yeah, the x
Sometimes we can factor them into x plus or minus something times x plus or minus something. Okay? If we can do that, we'll be able to put it in that form over here with the pi, when x equals pi. Okay, so let's not jump ahead. So, what is x squared minus 5x plus 6? Does that factor, first of all?
Yeah, I can factor.
Okay, what does it factor into?
Well, it factors from here to here.
Yeah.
It's x minus 2 times x minus 3.
Ah, x minus 2 times x minus 3. That's neat. Okay? X minus 2 times x minus 3. So instead of having to evaluate this complicated expression, we can evaluate these two expressions instead. And since we're trying to evaluate it for pi, now we can say this expression here is the same as pi minus 2 times pi minus 3. Okay? What can you tell me about pi minus 2? What is pi minus 2 as a number?
It's a little bit larger than 1.
Okay.
Well,
It's a little bit larger than 1, because pi is about 3.14 minus 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about 1.4.
Okay, it's about 1.14, and importantly, it's positive. Okay.
Times
What's pi minus 3?
pi minus 3, it's about 0.14.
0.14, and importantly, this is positive. So we're trying to figure out if 1.14 times 0.14 is positive, negative, or 0, and it's a positive times a positive.
Which is positive.
Which is positive.
So it's a tiny bit on the positive side.
Okay, so we just figured out that this expression was positive. That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have to do any multiplying or even any real arithmetic. All we had to do was subtract 2 and 3 from pi to figure this out. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
That's a neat math problem that shows you that math ideas can be really powerful. All right? Good job.